are gathered in this frame today a bit about bringing up teenage kids, especially from an Indian family. Obviously, that complicates the mix all the more. But when I asked you this question off camera, you said to me, I said, "Is that easy?" You tell me. You tell me. So tell me, Ram, is this easy bringing up teenage kids, especially if you come from an Indian family here in the UK?
Rahul, are you married at home?
I am indeed.
Well, bringing up children over here is one job. Teenagers is another story completely. I think so. The problem with us is when we left India, we were much more. We used to listen to our parents a little bit more than what they are used to over here. And I think so they get a little bit confused messages because when they go to the school, they see their peers and everybody, and then they come back home and we tell them to behave in a certain pattern. Well, we have to go to this pujo. What is pujo, mommy? Why do I have to go? Is any of my friends coming? That's the next, and always that rules the roost.
Yeah.
So I think so they are, but in a way.
How old are your kids?
My son is 18 years old, and my daughter is 14.
Okay.
But I think so they're getting the hang of it now. That whatever mommy says has to be followed in the house.
But it's a constant battle and confusion. Tell me, does this experience sound familiar to you?
Well, it does sound familiar, but I would say that I've been very lucky. I have a daughter of 23 years old and a son 18 years old. So actually, we always expect our children to respect their elders, listen to what we say, because we think that we are taking them to the right way, we are showing them the right path. And I would say I have been very lucky that they do listen to us. And yes, as Deepthi said, that when we ask them to come to the puja and all, they would question and say that, okay, any of our friends are coming.
Yeah.
So if other friends are coming, they would definitely come. I think, but the main reason is they get bored. That's the reason. And if their friends are coming, they would also come.
Yeah. Do they speak Bengali?
Yeah, they do speak Bengali. They speak Bengali very well.
Yeah.
So
you made it a point to make that very much part of their upbringing.
Yeah, we made it a point that in our home we are going to speak only Bengali, nothing else. So they have got a habit of speaking Bengali.
So reality there, a mom who says that my teenage kids are absolutely very well behaved, but you're lucky in that respect. Tell me, what about yourself? I mean, what to you is the toughest challenge in being able to bring up kids, especially when they reach their teenage years? What to you is really the most difficult in the mix of your parenting?
Well, I've got two girls. I've got a 17-year-old who's a teenager and a 10-year-old. I think the most difficult aspect is trying to imbibe in them some of our Indian cultures and values, which of course, when you grow up in India, it's there everywhere, but that's what we have to do at home. I think that becomes quite difficult, but I think the kids do really well because they adjust in the society here, and they pick up our values and our traditions, and when we come, and that's why the Bengali community is important, I think, because they come and mix with children who are all sort of in the same boat, and they find that rewarding. So I think the most difficult bit is trying to imbibe our Indian culture.
How do you do it?
Well, they learn because we back in India, everybody has a puja room, so I have one here too. So when I do that, I try and get them involved in that, so they learn. I think you have to put a bit of effort into it. It doesn't happen automatically as it would in India.
Okay, and tell me, I'll ask you this question as well. Do they think of themselves as British, or do they think of themselves as British Indian, or what kind of identity do they kind of grow up with and relate to first?
Actually, it depends on the way you groom them. For me, from the very beginning, I made it a point that they learn and imbibe in all the cultures and traditions in them. I personally felt that way. So from the very beginning, I told her that how Bengali songs, Hindi songs, or whatever, and then taking them to parties, Durga Puja, Kali Puja, and all the celebrations. So they try to learn them. Later on, whether they follow or not is a different thing, but they slowly develop them into.
Do they follow?
My daughter does.
Okay.
My daughter is turning 20 in 2 days' time, and she's in Cambridge, and she has joined the Indian Society there, and she's doing medicine, and then she loves all these, the songs and dances. So I feel that I have been successful in doing this.
Do they think of themselves as British or British Indian or Indian, or what kind of identity do you think they relate to?
I think so they are both.
Yeah.
When they are with their friends, they're Britishers.
Yeah.
When they're with us, they're Indians. Because I know my son doesn't like doing pranam, but whenever an Indian person comes, they will do pranam. Or when they go to any party, they will ask, is it an Indian party or are Britishers coming as well? And then I'll say that no, it's an Indian party. Then they will wear the kurtas and everything. So it's just a part, they know how to balance it.
And it must be tough for kids as well, right, ma'am? I mean, to tell me your own perspective on this, like you said, that when they're hanging out outside with their friends, they're British, and when they're at home, they have to be Indian in many ways. That must be tough for them.
I think that must be tough for them. But I think because from the childhood they have been told or they have been shown this way, so they don't understand that they have to behave in this manner because they think themselves as British Indian.
Yeah.
So that Indian part is still there, and they know that they are living here.
And what's the most challenging question that you've been asked by your kids at home? Anything about Indian culture, anything at all that comes to mind? One of the most sort of challenging things. Anybody?
I think so. That they ask us is, why do I have to do it? Is it for Dadu? Is it for Dida? Is it to satisfy somebody? And they don't seem to understand that it's to satisfy the community in the whole as well. But I think so their questions are very pertinent as well because we have to think from their perspective.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of questions have you fielded with your daughter?
Not really, actually. She's very eager to learn about all the culture and everything, and she's very much interested. So whatever she's been told, she mostly follows. So I've been very blessed about that.
Or probably the rebellious phase is still to come. So yeah.
She's already in uni, so coming back is not.
Maybe most teenagers who are very goody-goody usually have the rebellious phase in their 20s. Okay. And tell me, in terms of the joy of all of this. Obviously we've spoken a bit about the kind of problems and what kind of questions they ask you. The joy of this, of being able to be in a foreign country but still preserve a bit of India for the future generation. Reflect for me a bit about it.
I think the joy is, for example, today I came to the puja early and my daughter said, Mom, I have to wear a sari. And she's never worn a sari before. I showed her how to do the pleats this morning. And she said, well, that's fine, Mommy, you go, I'll put it on myself. And that gave me great pleasure to see that at least I had been able to show her the joy of being able to put a sari on herself. And it's just a very simple example, but that was very rewarding for me.
Rahul, I've just got one point to add today. She has worn the sari better than her mom today. It's very true.
Very good, very good. So anyone out there, anyone who's interested in learning how to pleat a sari, you know who to get in touch with. What about you, ma'am? There's a joy of bringing kids up in this kind of dual sort of way.
Yeah, I think they also understand. They also enjoy this atmosphere.
Yeah.
So they know that they will look gorgeous if they wear a sari, and they get a chance to wear a lot of jewelry with the sari matching, and that they enjoy, especially the girls. And the boys also, they enjoy wearing different types.
The boys must be enjoying to come and see the girls dressed in all this gorgeous attire. What about you, ma'am?
She's British Indian. I can't say she's British, neither can I say she's Indian, but she's a bit of both.
Lovely.
Imagine the beauty and mystery of
on NDTV 24/7.
As I walked into this place, I could smell some lovely incense. I could see views and visuals that I almost thought as if I sort of traveled a journey of more than 1,000 miles to India, where I could see a lovely puja being performed and lots of people who gathered here with a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of energy. I'm going to start off by asking you, Reverend, describe to our audience I stepped in. This is expected. This is some sort of a church hall, and there I can see a puja being performed. What's going on?
Well, it's all about the friendship of faiths. We're really glad to here at St Andrew's, Mottingham, be in the privileged position to host this Saraswati Puja and indeed the great pujas of the year, because we believe in the fellowship of faiths and sharing cultural riches and resources, and also that ultimately all religions are one in a profound sense. So really, we're very delighted to be in the position of seeing this come to fruition here with the wonderful Durga Puja, for example, last year, which was held the second time here, but it was really the first time that Durga Puja had been held in the southeast of London. So what a wonderful opportunity to feel that was providing a space. Of course, it's a church hall reflecting the Christian faith, but because in this area we're very much a multi-faith community.
You know, this has grown from being a really small and very modest kind of organization to much bigger and much more involved kind of organization over the years from the 80s. You're one of the principal architects of all of this. Tell me a bit about this.
Main vision was to keep our culture and our heritage, and also, of course, religion comes with it. In UK, but from India and Hindu culture. And that's we are trying to continue to propagate. Particularly, I'm more interested in involving the second generation like Mosumi. Because we are the first generation coming from India, we know our culture, we are born in India, so we know that. But these people are born in here so that their children can have a taste of Indian culture.
Would you say this is essentially a religious thing or is it a cultural thing?
Mostly cultural. As you know, our religion, Hindu religion, is the most liberal religion in the world. There is no fixed rules and rituals in our religion. So it is mostly cultural. Like we have puja here today, but most people are interested in variety program, which is now going on, as you know, the music. So this is
a bit of culture, a bit of religion, but mostly 100% fun. Okay, Diwali lights should go up with Christmas lights, or there are lots of issues around this where a lot of people say that sometimes it's so difficult to get it right.
It can be difficult to get it right, but in my opinion, you have to make the most of where you are, the situation as it is, and you have to. Each religion is different. You respect each other's religion, and you enjoy and you embrace each other's religion when you're living in a multicultural society like we are today. It's very important to understand each other's religion and take part in others' festivities. My daughter loves Christmas, and she should. And we do all the normal things that as the priest would do. We have turkey, we have Christmas lights, we have a Christmas tree, and we really do enjoy the festivities as much as we enjoy Durga Puja, Saraswati Puja, our own cultural festivities. It's absolutely amazing what we can do. Yeah.
And I think that in many ways is what people can do at a personal level. While politicians and other social analysts can talk about these things. And so tell me your own personal experience. I mean, when you heard about these things, about multi-religious society and all of that, is it hard to achieve, or do you think it's not difficult at all?
It's definitely something that is slow to achieve, but it's definitely achievable, and because we are all making the right steps and the right noises and we're doing the right things, and I'm confident one day we'll be there. But it's not hard to achieve. It's just a long and slow process to do so.
While I have to point out that while everyone is here, with all of these different things in mind, like multi-religious harmony and all of that, many people are here also just for the rasgulla. So just for the Bengali food. And is that true?
Yeah, definitely, because obviously we have a group called WhatsApp group, and they're always talking about luchi. Luchi means pudding in Hindi. And they're always talking about lunch, what are we going to have the lunch? And as you have seen, we have finished the lunch and the supper is getting ready. So this is our life.
No conversation with Bengali people is complete without mentioning food. Reverend, have you had a chance to taste some Bengali food?
At the different pujas, at Lakshmi Puja and Durga Puja, I've tried the various dishes and they're delicious. I mean, it's a great joy to share in food. It's always said, of course, that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and I think that applies to religious expressions as well. And you start off, satisfying the the inner person, the physical self, and then move up to more profound things. But it's very good to start with the diet.
Now, one issue that has been of very high importance, and that has been an issue around integration of the Asian community here in the UK. Of course, there are lots of great stories about immigration, about people coming to this country, making England their home, and really becoming a part of what this country is today. But on the other hand, there are lots of other people who argue that England's experience with immigration is far from perfect. A lot of people say that communities don't integrate; they sort of remain within themselves and form kind of cultural silos. We're very delighted to be joined by the Mayor of Bexley. Sir, thank you very much for speaking to NDTV and your wife as well. Thank you very much, ma'am, for speaking to us. We'll start by asking you, sir, your own perspective on this, on integration and this borough's experience with integration, especially when it comes to the Asian community.
It's been an absolutely delightful experience. Bexley is on the outer fringes of London. We have 32 boroughs in London, and they are quite heavily integrated. There are people from many different races and walks of life, and we work very closely together.
Okay. Well, what about you, ma'am? I mean, give me a personal perspective on this. You know, when you come to an event like this one, where you have a lot of people from the Bengali community celebrating a festival, what goes through your mind?
Just how welcome everybody makes me feel. This is the third event that I've been to, and I really enjoy coming. It's lovely to have the opportunity to experience something else, and all your festivals are so colourful and everyone's so welcoming that it's just been a real privilege to be here.
What would you say to people, sir, who say that this country's experience with immigration has been far from perfect? They say things like, around integration, for example, hasn't gone on as a lot of people would have hoped.
Everything is not perfect. Sometimes political we don't know, but we need each other's help. They need our help. Also, we need their help too. That's the most important thing. Some of these things, they have not got enough manpower. Sometimes they need us to do that. At the same time, we need that skill, for our country to help us too. So it is a symbiosis.
Okay. So you're saying that it's not a problem; it's a solution actually.
Well, this is the thing. We have to the way of life. We have to learn to live with each other. I know we see that a little bit in isolation, but we don't see much now.
Yeah.
We've been a lot of incorporated. When I came to Bexley, there was really black people. We see that, but we see that about 10% people there, 10 to 15%, and I don't feel anymore. That's the feeling.
When people are able to come to this place, live, integrate. Yeah.
They can integrate us.
Okay. What about you, ma'am? I mean, the Bengali community obviously has a long history, long tradition in this country. Tell me reflect for me a bit about that.
Well, I am in this country for 10 years, but what I have seen, like seniors like Dr. Sarkar and others, they have formed already a Bengali community, and it's we don't feel like we are being away from Bengal. There's a lot of integration, and now, like our mayor, the reverend of this church, they're involved and they're part of our community as well. I was just telling Mayor today that you are part of, because he comes to all our programs. So there's a lot of integration going on in this community, and we Bengalis are always very wide, except all the communities where we are very wide-minded, broad-minded.
A lot of people also say this, ma'am, that most Indian immigrant communities often are quite inward-looking. They sort of, come to their own community gatherings, celebrate their own festivals, but often don't sort of open the doors for people, who live in that area, the local people, to get involved in their activities. How do you respond to that?
I think it doesn't. Nothing is universal for everyone. I don't think that it's true for us Bengalis, because, as I said, we had a tradition to involve all people. I call my colleagues who are, from this country, from China, from different countries in Asia, Africa. I always invite them, and they join sometimes. Sometimes they can't. But
Do they come?
Yeah, They do come. We see lots of community, and as I say, it's just a big world, like wide community like that. So we don't feel anything that no, we don't want them. This is our festival. We feel it's
Yes, yes, that is the most important thing. You know, being a Hindu, there is no bar. Anybody can come and join with us and enjoy it. You know, celebrate, and we always invite them to come and join with us. That is the important.
We actually enjoy when other people come and enjoy, especially our culture, our food. We feel very good actually, not other way around.
England has changed a lot over the last 30 to 40 years. You've seen a really big change. Change for the better, you think?
I think so. I mean, looking back to when I was a little girl, we didn't go out to eat very often, but now we've got a wonderful range of restaurants. We in fact enjoy having a curry, and yes, I think and you can go out for chai, you can go out for virtually any meal you want to now, and I think it's a fantastic opportunity for everyone.
Where else could the mayor and his wife have gone for Rashgulla, for example? There you are. Have you had a chance to have Rasgullas, to have Bengali food?
Oh, yes, very much so, and have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
This is the third trip, as my wife said, that we've made to the Bengali community.
With us, before in the Durga Puja and the Kali Puja, they really enjoyed, especially the fireworks.
Should we have more politicians like him in England?
Yes.
I think so. I mean, he is so nice to come and he really enjoys.
Have you picked up recipes for mutton curry or Rashgulla or things like that?
I haven't had any, they haven't given me any recipes, but we have got some at home that we use, yes.